What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You know what, guys? I couldn't wait to start this podcast today. And because this is a topic that's been hot on the lips of everyone around the world. So, first of all, I'd like to welcome you to Plugged In. This is where we plug you in with the information that you need in order to make you successful. But over the past couple of days, the past few days, social media has been bombarded. Television has been bombarded, even to the point to where they're actually even talking about this on ESPN, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. Everybody's covering this. Hey, if you guys can hear me perfectly, uh, uh, please. I'm trying out a new switchboard, and if you guys can hear me, please put a one into the comment section so I'll know that everyone can hear me well. Because this one today, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a doozy. This and this, I couldn't get away from it. Normally, I stay away from topics like this because it basically doesn't create or put money into anyone's pocket. And I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So I'm pulling up pulling up my other channel here to make sure that I can read your post if you can hear me well. Podcast today. Here we go. So let me get this situated and straightened out just real quick. So now I can read your comments. So if you guys can hear me, well, put a one into the comments, please, so I can make sure that this new sound system and new switchboard is working out very well. But the slap scene around the world from the 94th Oscars. Now, I waited on to even respond because I knew the tone, and everything was going to change after the initial shock wore off. So if you guys can hear me, make sure if you can hear me, definitely put this into the comments, please. So after the initial shock wore off, and I knew that it was going to be a different tone to everything. Now, most of you reactive people jump right onto the jump, do like you normally do. You reacted to something, and hold on. I'm just going to disconnect. All right, we unmuted the mic now. If everybody can hear me, I'm pretty sure that everyone can hear me now. So here we go. Now here we go. This was something that was going to change. It actually changed the history of television because one of the greatest actors, not want to say of all time, but one of the greatest actors in today's time, Will Smith, completely went off the rails. Now everybody by now have seen what happened, and everybody has put and chimed in their little 2 cent worth. Now, most of you reactive people acted out of reaction to what you saw, and everybody was, yeah, he defended his wife and all this other kind of stuff. Stop right there. Stop right there. 2 years ago, now, granted, they stayed together. Great. Whatever the case may be. But as a man, if you cheat on me, as your husband, if you cheat on me in my house, in my bed, with somebody that I allowed to come in and stay into my house that I considered a friend. Mm. Nobody remembered that. Everybody jumped onto the part about her losing her hair, which I didn't even know about it. I didn't know about that until after everybody started talking about she has alopecia and all this kind of stuff. But I'm not a Jada Pinkett follower or fan. I mean, I remember her from the Different World days, so I was a fan then. But I don't keep up with even her little round table discussion thing and all of this other kind of stuff. So I didn't even know she had alopecia, which is an immune disease. I get it. Chris Rock even stated that he didn't know. A lot of celebrity people didn't know because a lot of people stopped following her or the family after the infidelity video. Now, this is a family, a couple who have exposed their personal business, to the world. And the funniest thing about that is you embarrassed your husband worldwide on a public stage when she openly admitted having an affair with this young dude in their house, in their bed. And then not only just brought that out, but she followed that up with pictures and pictures all over the internet of the night they went out and they all hugged up. Listen here, if you my wife, no man on this planet is going to have his arms wrapped around your waist. You better, if you're gonna hug or embrace my wife, you better do that church lady hug with the one arm side by side. You're not going to wrap your arms around her waist. That's one thing that people missed or forgot in their quest to say he disrespected her. This man has been getting embarrassed publicly for years. Will Smith. You can't come back after that. You can't come back after that and now say that you're going to defend your wife when your wife didn't defend or respect your own marriage. Now, some of y'all are going to come back and say, well, hey, Will Smith cheated too. So basically, listen, if she cheated, he cheated, okay, that's out in the public, but you can't make anybody respect y'all marriage when both of y'all are doing infidelity. When both of y'all are committing adultery and having affairs on top of each other, now you want everybody to respect the sanctity of your marriage and this my wife and that's my, man, get out, miss me with all of that. 2 or 3, maybe 4 by now, I don't know. It is publicly known. Chris Rock is a comedian. This man makes his living on cracking jokes. Some of these people that's been reacting are acting like they've never been to a comedy show. Some of them probably haven't. Some of them have acted like they've never even seen a comedy show. If anybody remember Def Comedy Jam, BET Comic View, Comedy Central, all of these platforms, you already know the first 10 rows. You better make sure that your wardrobe is on point, your hair is on point, your makeup is on point, your hair is cut, and you don't come in there with no busted, broken down shoes, fellas. Because the first 10 rows, as far as that comedian can see, oh man, y'all giving him free material. So to sit there on the front row at the Oscars and not think or not expect that you were going to become a part of the show. And then here's the thing that also gets me. And this is also public. You can go on the internet and scour the internet. There are literally hundreds of thousands or thousands of photos with Chris Rock, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, hugged up, booed up, whatever the case may be, at different events, basketball games, other celebrity events. All three of these people have had a relationship for a long time in Hollywood. So for Will Smith, who first laughed at the G.I. Jane joke, which was not even offensive. Come on now. Some of y'all skin has gotten so thin. All that man said was, Jada, I love you. Can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out. And that warranted him getting slapped. Some of y'all people, but y'all in y'all emotions so bad. Oh my God. Some of y'all are so thin-skinned. But you won't say nothing to the person that called you a nigger. Huh? Yeah, you won't say nothing to them. You won't say nothing to the woman or the man that called you a B. You ain't gonna slap them. Huh? Huh? Come on now. I don't even have to know you and I know you ain't done it. Because that would have made news. Some of y'all won't even talk to your supervisor or your boss and tell them after they'd have told you you're lazy, you're stupid, you're dumb, you can't do nothing, you ain't worth nothing, and then get out of my office. You ain't slapped none of them. And those words are more offensive. Those words are more offensive than can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out. Get out of it. Listen here, man. Y'all can miss me with that. Some of y'all men out here talking about he defended his wife. Again, let's rehash. Some of y'all have been in the same spot where your woman done cheated on you and you're still there because you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to hide it, throw it out of. Real talk. So to sit up here and say that that was bad, but now this man, after being embarrassed year after year, month after month, with with the same woman, now you're gonna tell me he gonna get up and defend her and slap this man on national TV? Come on, man. Black folks, we are some extra, extra special people. Listen here. Will Smith, 6'2", over 200 pounds. Well over 200 pounds. When he was training for the Muhammad Ali movie, he had got up to 230. So I know he hadn't lost all of that weight because Will Smith is still kind of buff. Chris Rock, 5'9", 5'10", 170, 180 pounds. Will Smith got this man by 60 pounds. 50 or 60 pounds. And then he walks up and sucker slaps him. That makes Will Smith even more weak. You sucker slap the man, and then you turn around and turn your back to the person that you slapped. Think about that for a while. When have it been any time that you have slapped somebody and turned your back to the person that you just slapped or punched and you walk off like they ain't gonna do nothing? One, a slap, I agree with Shannon Sharp. To slap somebody is the ultimate disrespect. You know that it's getting serious when somebody says, and some of us who've been around the hood long enough or been in the hood long enough that haven't forgotten, when somebody tell you to shut up or I'm gonna slap the you know what out of you, you already know at that point. Now, I don't know how it is in other communities. I don't know how it is over there. But I know in the black community, if I tell you I'm finna slap you, it's one or two things that's gonna happen after that. Either we gonna move some furniture up in here, or you gonna have the same reaction or response like Chris Rock did. Either we gonna move the furniture or something. But for me to slap you, I'm still not gonna turn my back on you and walk off. See, Will Smith did that because he took the opportunity because he knew that them cameras was rolling. And then you go back to your seat and holler, scream, like you ain't got no kind of home training. Keep my wife name out your mouth. Again, every black person in America should have been embarrassed. Every one of us should have been embarrassed because now, and not to make this a racial thing or whatever the case may be, but it was us that did it. And there's already a stereotype and a mentality about us anyway that it was just magnified and amplified at the on a world stage, the Oscars. The Oscars. 15 million people viewing. Another 5 million streaming. 20 million people viewing, watching, streaming the Oscars, and then this dude is gonna go full power Django. Now, if y'all remember that, since people want to watch the replays, when he first said that joke, Will Smith was laughing. Jada rolled her eyes. Then Will Smith looked over there at her and saw that she wasn't laughing. Now his whole disposition changed. Now he want to go get some straightening after he laughed. Now, here's the thing that people also miss. If I was Jada, she should have been mad at Will Smith for laughing because he laughed, as well as the woman sitting in between him and Jada was laughing. She should have straightened them two out first. Because these people that sitting at your table and they laughed at the joke, so nobody thought that joke was harmless. Even the people that was watching it that night on TV live, nobody thought that was offensive. That's what kills me about the reaction that everybody's been getting since Sunday night. Since Sunday night, everybody's been just chiming in. Yeah, I would have did the same thing. No, you didn't, because when you was watching it, you was laughing too. See, that's what kills me. Then everybody wants to start talking about, oh, he was defending his wife. Some of y'all weak men that's out here in the world, y'all won't even defend your wife because you disrespecting your wife yourself. Let's just be real about it. Some of y'all be out here in the streets with your woman or be at the mall or whatever, and then you know that man is eyeball. I can't say what I want to say, but he eyeball sexing your wife or your old lady. You know he is, and you won't get no straightening from him. Let's be real about it. Then to further that, right after that, Will Smith turns right around. Denzel tried to hip him. Now, some of y'all took that out of context. I saw that a whole different way. When Denzel told him, at your highest, the devil always comes after you. And Will Smith allowed the devil to use him at that moment. At that moment, he allowed the devil to use him. The devil came and whispered in his ear and told him, you need to go up there and slap the you know what out of him. And he yielded. Then you got other people talking about, well, he was talking about how he grew up in an abusive relationship and he always felt like he was, come on, man. Hey, look, that man didn't put his hands on your wife. He didn't even swat at her. He did nothing disrespectful. He said, can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out. Can anybody tell me where that's disrespectful at? Somebody tell me, type it in the comment. Or if you want to call, hell, I'll put you on the air. 256-438-9344. Call me and tell me where that was disrespectful at, where he said, can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out. On top of the fact that he didn't know that she had alopecia. Some of y'all don't even know what alopecia is. So I know that you didn't know. So unless you are a follower of hers, which please somebody tell me who don't follow her page or don't follow her little round table thing or ain't all up in the business and who gonna be honest, out of 16 million, 20 million people, who all knew? I didn't. I don't follow her page like that. Now, I knew about the entanglement thing because and that was again after it was told on her little YouTube channel. I'm seeing all through my news feed about her and August Alsina in an entanglement. Then I learned after the fact. That was another situation I learned after the fact. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Will Smith allowed the enemy to use him. Now you got other people out here that's talking about, oh, it was staged. To me, that's even worse. You have two great entertainers in their respective fields. What was the need for them to stage anything? Chris Rock, dude, he's one of the top 5 comedians right now. Depending on who you talk to, he's in my top 5 because dude is funny. Will Smith, he's not in my top 5 of actors, but I'll watch a movie that has Will Smith in it. If it comes out, boom, I'm on it. He's not my favorite, but he's one that I can watch. And neither one, and then the man was nominated for an Oscar. So he didn't need any help in his career. I mean, these two men ain't the Kardashians. They don't need nothing to bring attention to them. So as far as staging it being fake, come on now, miss me with that too. And then on top of that, I couldn't imagine these two popular entertainers, actors, comedians in their field being talked into being used by somebody else to stage this slap. I don't care any kind of way you look at it. To me, that's as wrong as 2 left shoes. Come on now. These 2 well-respected multi-millionaires who don't need any help bringing any attention to their careers. One is nominated for an Oscar. The other one is one of the top 5 comedians in today's time, who's neither one of them is suffering from hurting for money. And you're going to tell me somebody talked them into staging this? I don't think either one of them are that stupid to be used by anybody, even the Oscars. The only one that's hurting in this menage a trois 3-way is the Oscars. The Oscars have been hurting and losing viewers ever since they shafted Denzel Washington out of that Oscar and gave it to Russell Crowe. And then they gave Denzel, because they knew that it was an uproar and an uprising, why Denzel didn't win, and they gave it to Russell Crowe. Then they turned around and gave it to Denzel the next year for Training Day. The Oscars have been in trouble ever since then. Less and less people have been watching it. Less and less. They've been losing viewership. So they're the only ones who were suffering in this. And I still cannot imagine for the life of me that the Oscars committee went to Chris Rock and Will Smith and said, hey guys, check this out. We got this great idea. We want Chris to crack a joke about Jada, and then we want Will to get mad, go on stage and slap him, and then cuss out loud. This is how I know it wasn't staged. That man was sitting there when he was cussing from that chair. And this is a sign in our community. Hey, when that lip go to quivering,
all of your emotions is sitting on G waiting on O. You ready to go. If Chris Rock had said anything, clap back. Will Smith was gonna hit that stage again. You already know it. But now, so miss me with the staging. What happened there, this whole entire situation, the slap seen around the world, every black person in America, every black person around the world should be embarrassed. Every person of color around the freaking world should be embarrassed at what Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith caused that night. Now, if you noticed, here's what happened after that. The Oscar committee, this is how I knew it was going to be a change. And this is why I didn't get caught up into that first wave of reactive podcasters or reactive radio hosts, television personalities. This is why I didn't get caught up in that reactive clapback stuff. Check this out now. Monday, the Oscar committee announced, we do not stand behind what Will Smith did. Let me read this to y'all. We do not stand behind, condone, or authorize the altercation that happened between Will Smith and Chris Rock. There will be an inquiry and an exploration into the rules of the code of conduct and the standards of the Oscars. Because now, think back. Will Smith didn't apologize to Chris Rock that night. He apologized to everybody else. Then to add on top of that, this wasn't even his moment. This was the Williams sisters, Serena and Venus. The story was about their daddy. This was one of their crown achievement moments. Will Smith robbed them of that and made it about him. Nobody has even talked about the movie. Nobody ain't talked about it. Most people not even talking about him winning the Oscar. People talking about him slapping Chris Rock. So now, here's the thing. The Oscar committee, which Whoopi Goldberg is on the board of the Oscars committee, and Whoopi even said, oh, it will be some repercussions. Now think, if they banned Kanye West from the Grammys, remember when he did the little temper tantrum fallout with Taylor Swift, and Beyonce should have got best video and all this other kind of stuff, and then he used a little racial slur thing. That banned Kanye West from ever going to the Grammys. Kanye West will never win a Grammy. Now, Kanye is a billionaire, quote unquote, depending on who you talk to. So he probably don't care. But listen, the world was tired of Kanye and Kanye's antics and all of that crap that he had going on and causing. So it made no difference to Black America that Kanye was banned from the Grammys. Will Smith, a little different. Will Smith has been the victim for the past 2 years. This is why a lot of you are giving him a pass, because there is no bounce back from your wife publicly humiliating you, admitting to an open affair, and pictures all over the internet, and then calling it an entanglement. You can't get no more work. You can't get any more embarrassed than that. And nonchalantly said it was an entanglement. Listen here, I have never heard that term a day of my life, and I've been on this planet almost 50 years. I have never heard that term. Oh, it wasn't nothing. That was just a little entanglement. Really? And then She tells it to her little round table people after it was already put out privately to the family. See, that's what happened. When you become a celebrity, or you become in and you get into that spotlight and you post your private business on a public forum, you listen, whatever anybody says about you is free game. You cannot get mad about that. Understand me and hear me well. Let me re-say that again. When you put your personal business out in front of the world to know, you are open to anything that anybody says about that situation, you, whoever, and you can't get mad. You forfeit all rights of getting mad and feeling disrespected. You forfeit all rights. So when you put yourself in that position, and then as a comedian, this is what this man's job is to crack jokes, make people laugh. And look, even before that, they was laughing at everybody else that was at the tail end of one of Chris Rock's jokes. They was laughing at the tail end of that. But then when it comes to them or her, then you want to get offended? Wait a minute. The person next to you was getting cracked on too. It wasn't you wasn't offended or you wasn't perturbed at what he said about the other people at the other table. But when it comes to you, and then here's the other thing that people missing. Jada cut her hair on her own. She cut her hair. Yeah, it might not have been falling out with. Now listen, anybody that had any type of hair loss, when that plug comes out your hair, it don't break off even with your scalp. It's a plug, it's a bald patch right there. Jada chose to cut her hair because her hair was falling out. It hadn't fell out, it was falling out. So she chose to cut her hair. And this is not the first time. Go back. Look at the pictures that's on the internet. This is not the first time that Jada has had a low-cut fade. So did she have alopecia then, 20 years ago? Or did she just all of a sudden have alopecia now? That's neither here nor there. The point is that this is not the first time that she's had a low haircut. But everybody jumped on this thing. Oh man, that's disrespect. Now listen. Here's another point. If that had been any other comedian, Will Smith wouldn't have never went on stage. If that had been D-Ray, if that had been Mike Epps, if that had been Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, damn sure it wouldn't have been Jerry Seinfeld, Jay Leno, or Jeff Foxworthy. It wouldn't have been definitely nobody white. He definitely wouldn't have took his butt up there on stage and slapped none of them. Or even Joe Rogan. Ooh, I would have loved for that one. I would have loved for that one. If it had been Joe Rogan who said it, ooh, that would have been a good fight right there. That would have been a good fight. And then here it is again. And not just a slap, but you turn your back. You turn your back on me after you done slapped me. Dude. Now, woo, sweet baby Jesus. Hey, appreciate the Tasha for tuning in. Hey, what's happening, V? But that's why I waited. I waited specifically because I knew that after all of this, the Oscars announcing that there was going to be some repercussions behind it. Now, all of his endorsements. Because anytime you're a celebrity, an athlete, or whatever in that public spotlight, and you picking up endorsements, this is what some of y'all didn't know. In that contract with your endorsements, there is a morality clause and a code of conduct clause that you have to live by. If you violate either one of these two clauses, now we don't have to pay you. And any work that you have did before that, the company owns the rights to that. So let's just take, for instance, Shaq and the General, right? The General has signed over checks to Shaq. Now, if Shaq goes out here and slaps somebody on public TV and the General say, hey, boom, your contract is dead, every commercial that Shaq shot before that happened, the General just get to replay that over and over again, and Shaq don't get no money off of it. So now this is settling in because now Will Smith is thinking, oh, man, I just lost. I don't know who is going to bail on me as far as endorsements are concerned. See, the way you hit rich people is you hit them in their pocket. Now, yeah, Will Smith got FU money. FU money, if y'all don't know what FU money is, FU money means I got enough money to, I don't have to work no more. So, yeah, as far as the financial part, he ain't going to suffer from that. What he's going to suffer from is that's going to be his most memorable moment out of everything else that he has achieved in life. That slap seen around the world is going to be his crowning moment. He rose all the way up to that, and then that right there all the way took him down. He is going to be a has-been. Mark my words, and you heard it here first. March the 30th, 2022, Will Smith is going to go underground at the hands of his wife. Jada has ruined that man's career ever since they have been together. If you even think back before the August Alsina situation, she all in the source book talking about how she was in love with Tupac. That right there, embarrassment number one. When you go on, when you publicly put out there that your man is soft in bed, oh, sweet baby Jesus. Oh my God. Research that. That's documented interview. Research that. She has been embarrassing Will Smith for years. Don't take my word for it. Go research it for yourself. She came on there and talked about how in love she was with Tupac, how after Tupac died, how she cried, how it was supposed to have been him. But you married to Will. And this was when Will just had did Independence Day. Mega millions after that deal. And then you tell the world that Will Smith is soft in bed? Ooh, I don't know how much more disrespectful. We all know what that term means. Come on, ladies. Come on, fellas. If your woman say you soft in bed, basically she telling you what you giving, she don't like it. But then, disrespect number one, that dies down. Jada comes off TV. She ain't doing the little Nurse Hawthorne thing no more. Boom, 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 boom. You know, Will still churning out movies. Bad Boys is cranking out. And then the next thing you know, Will done moved out the house. He done moved out the house. August Alsina still staying there. Now listen to this. If I'm looking out for a friend and I move, he got to move too. And it's well known. Ain't no woman gonna keep saying this man, my friend, 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 my friend. And he's sleeping on the couch. Ain't nobody gonna keep believing that song. If you still believe that, man, hey, I got some beachfront property in Idaho. I sell you for a real good price. And then it wound up being her friend. Her friend turned out to be the butt naked man, like my daddy used to say. So here's the thing. The friend, August Alsina, wound up moving out of the guest house, off the couch to the guest house to the bedroom. Embarrassment number 2. Publicly. And then when this came out, he was laughing at the G.I. Jane joke. Looked at her, she rolling her eyes, and then you know she done gave him, just like most black women do, oh, you ain't gonna straighten that out? Now he got to go up there and slap this man. Now, here's something else that everybody missed. Chris Rock is the victim in this. Now, I agree with Dr. Boyce Watkins. Chris Rock is laughing all the way to the bank. Chris Rock is on his comedy tour. Tickets was $65. Chris Rock hasn't said a word, hasn't responded, hasn't accepted an apology, hasn't said nothing to nobody since this has happened. But let me tell you what has happened. Chris Rock's $65 comedy tickets have now shot up to $300 a ticket, an 800% increase. Ooh. Hey, I'll take that slap too. And then most people miss this. That boy, hey, Chris Rock took that slap on the chin. Pow! Ooh! He took that thing. So Chris Rock ain't got no weak jaw. That told me that little 175-pound dude, he don't have no, I mean, if you seen the side of his jaw, you know Chris Rock can take a lick. Him and his brother. His brother got a square jaw too. Hey, that jaw held up. But from $65 to $300? And then, ladies and gentlemen, the concert is sold out. Now, 2 reasons for that. Especially in the black culture. The black culture, we know, well, it's understood. We think something is about to go down. That's just how it is. Because when somebody has been publicly humiliated and embarrassed to that point that you got slapped on national TV all over the world and then got cussed out and told, keep my wife's name out your mouth, and I got to sit here and take this punkin out in front of God and everybody, and then he didn't press charges, he didn't say nothing to him, he kept the show going. To me, in my mind, now, legitimately, he could have had the man arrested. Listen, 3rd-degree assault ain't nothing but 90 days in the pokey. If I'm just slapping you, he ain't even draw blood. He ain't even bust the man's lip. So that's 3rd-degree assault in the eyes of the law, and all you're going to do is do 90 days. Will Smith, with the magnitude of the level that he on, okay, he would have got community service, told to read some books to a couple of children and sign some autographs, and he would have got off. That's nothing. That's why Chris Rock didn't press no charges. He wouldn't have gotten anything out of that. He would have got a slap on the wrist. But now Chris Rock, you got the world waiting to hear. We know you're going to tell about this in a joke some kind of way to where neither one of them are going to be present. And you can say what you want to say. Kind of like how Jamie Foxx did with LL Cool J after they did Any Given Sunday. Jamie Foxx tickets skyrocketed after him and LL got into it on that movie set. He sold out. So everybody's waiting to hear what Chris Rock's response is going to be. And he still hasn't said anything. That apology that was circulating on the internet, that wasn't Chris Rock. That was his brother. And his brother said, listen, we don't accept no apology. We haven't said one. We haven't given one. We won't give one. That's what was put out there. Check, do your research. So now everybody's standing on ends like, well, what Chris is going to do? What Chris is going to do? He ain't said anything. Is he going to go ham? Is he going to change his whole comedian, his whole set? Is he going to change up his whole comedy show? Is he going to try to catch Will Smith in the cut somewhere? I mean, the boy is from Jersey now. Them some grimy dudes in Jersey now. But you have to take all of this into consideration, family, before y'all start giving y'all little irrelevant opinions. All you have to do is just sit back and wait. If you sat back and waited, you would have saw the same things that I saw. You would have saw that after the Oscars said that they was going to do an investigation, and then Whoopi, who sits on the board of the Oscars, I didn't even know Whoopi sat on the board until she said it on The View. And I got the email notification that said, it depends on, in my business and my world, I have to stay caught up, being the info plug. I stay caught up with the information that's popping and changing on the internet that's coming up. So, and it happens faster on the internet than it does on TV. So, because I'm not a View fan either, I don't watch The View. But as soon as she said that and it went viral, boom, I jumped on it. So I knew then Whoopi is on the board. Whoa. And then she said, oh, it will be some repercussions. So whatever the repercussions may be, and if he's banned from the Oscars, Tasha, if he's banned from the Oscars, then that means it don't matter what movie he does after this, that movie will never ever get nominated again. This is why I'm saying Will is going through some tremendous emotional hurt privately at the hands of a woman that has been doing this ever since 1994. That's what America is not seeing. Will Smith's name, as far as Hollywood, it's not even as big as it used to be. Come on, you go from Independence Day, Bad Boys, to doing straight to video. Come on, man. Wow. So King Richard was actually a reviving of his career. He had nothing else coming. He's not spoken of. Google it. His name is not spoken of on any other projects. None. You ain't got to take my word for it. Go back and research it for yourself. But when you research it this time, look at it from the eyes and the standpoint of that couple. It started way back after Tupac died. Ain't no wife of mine gonna confess her love for another man in my face. I don't know what kind of man you married to or what kind of man that you dealing with, but I don't know of a man that's even going to sit there and listen to his wife profess her love and affection for another guy and then say that it should have been the other guy, so automatically I'm number two. I was your second choice. I ain't even your first choice. You just married me because Tupac was too wild for you. What? See, ain't nobody seeing that. None of y'all are seeing that. None of y'all are seeing what kind of hurt did that feel like for your wife to sit up here and keep the guest in the house. I got to move, and then you get your back knocked out from this dude right here, a singer. August Alsina ain't even a top 40 singer. He's not even in the top 40. His music is on nobody's radio rotation. But you're gonna sit up here and talk about it was your need for codependency and he gave you a little life? What? Oh yeah, you did tell everybody back in the day I'm soft in the bedroom. Hey, y'all better wake up and smell the coffee cream. But so before the majority of especially the black community jump on this bandwagon, all y'all had to do was just wait till all of the facts came in. And now, after the Oscars, after the thought of losing endorsements, after thought of not getting another movie role again, now Will Smith offers an apology after 3 days later. 3 days later, you apologize to the dadgum Oscars that night. You apologize to the Williams sisters that night. But you slapped me in front of 20 million people and you gonna wait 3 days? Some of y'all ladies, even some of y'all men, if your man cheated on you and then he apologized to the children, he apologized to mama, he apologized to the brothers and sisters, and then after 3 days of him it's sinking in that he finna lose everything that he got, then he apologized to you 3 days later, how that's gonna make you feel? Men, if your wife cheated on you and she apologized to everybody else in the world, then 3 days later, she come to you and offer you some half-cocked scripted apology because now you realize what's at stake. That's why Chris Rock ain't saying nothing. You can keep that apology. And I know me. I hold a grudge like a scorned woman. Boy, I'm telling you, I will hold a grudge a long time before I even sit up here and talk about I'm finna apologize for anything. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to keep y'all any longer, man. But I just wanted people to really understand and get the facts. Yes, I am very petty, Tasha. I don't even think it's petty. I'm just resentful. Very resentful. So I don't let nothing go because I'm a cool guy. Will Smith by nature is a cool guy. Come on now. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I don't need to argue. Parents just don't understand. That's who Will Smith is. He ain't no G. He ain't no gangster. And for that man to be used like that, that's why. But hey, after so much stuff, bars and bars and bars, over 20, 30 years. They've been married 30-something years. And I've been taking this beating and mental abuse for 30-something years. Yeah, he exploded. And then she put him on the spot again. You ain't going to defend me. You know I got alopecia. But you cut your own hair. Your hair didn't fall out. You cut it. Because, listen, when you go back and watch the videos of her talking about the alopecia, that's what she said. I just shaved my hair, y'all. But, hey, look, I still look good. So she wasn't bothered by her not having any hair. That's what people don't get. She did a video where she was talking about she cut her own hair and still admitting that she looked good. But Chris Rock said something about G.I. Jane 2. Now she's offended? Now she's offended. Man, listen, people. Hey, next week, I want you guys to tune back in because I am going to be dropping and revealing some info and secrets. We're going to be talking about NFTs. Now, that's not a game that I am in, but again, as the info plug, before you step off into that world, you need to understand and know what NFTs are and how you can create and make money off of that. That again, that's a game that I'm not into, but it only took me about maybe 60 hours of reading, depending on how fast you read, or how slow you read, or how much time you have to read. That can, for me, it took me about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. But I really wanted to get a thorough understanding, and I was doing a lot of researching and deep diving. So the next episode right here on Plugged In, we're going to be talking about NFTs, as well as we're going to be talking about how to buy social media pages to where you can capitalize and build your brand, build your business on other people's pages, and how you can make and generate money after that. Hey, look, I thank you guys for tuning in and chilling with me this week on Plugged In. And hey, y'all people, learn to be proactive instead of reactive. That's the name of the game here. Be proactive. I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.